And I want to ask about why this city, why New York? Because to me, you're a New York monument. Like you are as central. I mean, you're the reason I wanted to move to New York for sure. And you know, but this city is
the Billy Rose Theater. Sorry.
We got there.
Sorry. It wasn't that I wasn't listening to you.
But your loyalty to New York City, where did that come from? How did that generate?
I can tell you my first feeling about the city, and I don't know how many people in this room are not from New York City but came here, and I don't know if we're split. Are we? Who was born in New York? So a minority. So, and that's not unusual. This is a city that beckons, it calls out. And so maybe what I'm going to try to tell briefly will be familiar. I came to New York City as a very young girl to visit my real father and visit my grandparents who lived on Ocean Avenue and Avenue S in Brooklyn on the Brighton Beach line. And I loved the city. Like I sort of can't explain the way it kind of invaded me. And there were many things about the city that I was completely enchanted and seduced by. First of all, yellow cabs. I loved yellow cabs so much. I couldn't believe that when I looked out of the very cheap hotel room that we were all sharing, and I looked down 7th Avenue South, which goes south coincidentally, all those yellow cabs. Some people in this room might not remember that the streets were populated and dominated by yellow cabs. And I thought it was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. And I think also in contrast to the color of the streets and this canyon of buildings, and there were these kind of marigolds racing down this avenue. And I just thought it was the most colorful, exciting, dynamic things. Those weren't the words I used, they were just how it felt. I love hot dogs.
Sabrett stands, right? This has to be Sabrett.
Died for Sabrett stands.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe that there was this, once again, bright, I don't even like yellow to be honest. There was this kind of bright yellow umbrella and this man typically, and this hot dog in water, and you know, it was costly for us. It seemed like decadent and rogue and sort of neighborhood, like you were local. I love Gray's Papaya. I died for Gray's Papaya. I died for Orange Julius. And I loved the theater.
Wasn't it your idea to have, like, after in Sex and the City, after Carrie has her book party, to go to Gray's Papaya?
Yes. But I also love the theater. I love the theater, and my parents were very smart and figured out ways to afford tickets, and some of us would stand, and then at intermission we'd switch, and then those that were standing were sitting, and it just seemed like this really remarkable, sort of unimaginable place that really did exist. And we drove home back to Cincinnati after that trip that really like just undid me. And I remember I was in the diving board at our little local swim club, and I turned to my brother. I was jumping on the diving board, and I said to him, I can't believe we were just in New York City. And in my head, I knew if there was a way to get back there. My dream was to live on 45th between 8th and 9th. And be in the thick of it, you know, just like in the thick of it.
A beautiful block.
It was so near everything. And I don't know, there were a bunch of Chinese, Cuban restaurants right up there on 8th Avenue.
Well, I remember. So I wrote a profile of Sarah Jessica for the magazine 2 years ago. And I remember walking around with you around the city was the most phenomenal experience because everything is amazing to you. Like, we walked by a trash can, an old vintage New York City trash can on the boardwalk in Coney Island, and you just say, like, I would die to have that trash can in my house.
I've tried to get it.
Yes.
I mean,
You've talked to the city
legally.
several times.
Yes. There is a pop-up sale, everybody, once a year that the MTA does. And my husband and I pay particular attention this time of year. It just ended about 9 days ago. And we missed it this year. devastated. And but the city does sell its pre-loved public municipal repositories for what we no longer want. And they are beautiful. They've changed.
Yeah,
We've
now
talked
they're
about that.
like either the pull open or the push down, but they used to be wire. Like
Yeah,
they used
they
to be
were-
like a giant wire.
They were very beautiful.
We got to get you one. If anyone has a connection,
I've tried to find one for our house, but it's not helpful to the sanitation workers. So it's too bold. It's unwieldy.